Welcome to a brand new series here on the WDW News Today YouTube channel, where we examine Easter eggs, hidden details, and maybe just things you missed from the Disney parks all around the world. The funny thing is, though, this very first edition, we're not even talking about a Disney park. We're talking about the Disney Cruise Line and their newest ship, the Disney Wish. So in this edition, we'll be looking at not one singular venue, not a couple of venues, but in fact, the entire ship looking for Easter eggs on the Disney Wish. So again, these may be not necessarily are all Easter eggs. Some of them are just cool details or things you just may have not noticed, or in case you haven't been on the ship yet, may want to notice on your visit. So let's get started. The unifying theme of the ship is enchantment, which is why that was in fact almost the name of the Disney Wish. All three of the new ships will have completely different themes and motifs, according to Disney, when all three Triton-class ships have debuted. The forward of the ship is themed to the enchanted woods that may be just outside of a kingdom, while the aft is meant to represent the kingdom itself with castles and fairy tales. You'll find Rapunzel and Pascal, for that matter, hanging out on the stern of the ship, putting the finishing touches on the signage. Rapunzel is the first Disney princess to get the nod of being placed on the stern. A wayfinding system is embedded in the carpeting. At each landing, you'll find a sign of where you are. This will materialize with items from Cinderella, such as a clock tower, a glass slipper, a pumpkin, or the royal coach. Elsewhere on the ship, you'll find a castle, an owl, a seashell, or the sun icon from Tangled. Elevators at the forward feature woodland creatures, such as squirrels and rabbits, while on the aft, you'll find iconography from Cinderella, such as pumpkins, the coach, Jock and Gus, and a helpful bluebird. If you visit the observation deck, you'll have the best chance to photograph a giant hidden Mickey formed by the awnings in the outdoor portion of the Senses Spa. Art pieces in the forward stair halls focus on the theme of transformation, while the aft focuses on fantastical locations. Found in the forward stairs between decks 3 and 4 is the piece "The Disney Wish Joins the Disney Cruise Line Fleet," which represents the real journey the ship took from the Meyer Werft Yard to Port Canaveral. It was created by Los Angeles-based artist Matteo Majorum. Another original piece by former Imagineer Nicholas Smith is Cindy's. It's a representation of Cinderellas from many different backgrounds, symbolizing how all women can help each other to rise. Art representing Sleeping Beauty Castle from Disneyland, Cinderella Castle from the Magic Kingdom, and La Château de la Belle au Bois Dormant from Disneyland Paris can be found in the forward stairwell at the very bottom floor. An animated mural of Mickey and the Beanstalk resides between the 1923 dining rooms, featuring moving elements of Mickey and the Gang, Willie the Giant, a horse-drawn carriage, and even the Disney Wish cruise ship sailing by from time to time. The Grand Hall is designed to feel like you are inside a storybook castle. The ceiling above the chandelier features 4 larger stars. The upper 4 stars represent the other ships in the Disney fleet, while the one at the bottom of the chandelier, the wishing star, represents the Disney Wish. The shape of the chandelier is inspired by the magical spiral that encircles Cinderella's dress as the fairy godmother creates it. The railings around the hall feature pumpkins in the design. I bet you can guess why. Lucifer the cat is lurking just behind the Cinderella statue, trying to catch the mice that are hiding under her dress. Chandeliers on each floor of the atrium feature different accents meaningful in the Cinderella story: a pumpkin, a needle and thread, and her gown. At midnight each night, a special lighting and audio show takes place in the Grand Hall, representing the famous moment of the clock striking midnight in the film. On Pirate Night, a totally unique show celebrating Peter Pan will take place. The Enchanted Sword Cafe is a small bar themed to the sword and the stone, as evidenced by the large golden sword on the exterior railing, and as well the carpet mural just steps away. Lyrics to the song "That's What Makes the World Go Round" from Sword in the Stone can be found on a mirror behind the bar. The Wishing Star Cafe derives its name not only from Pinocchio, but also because it offers a clear view of the wishing star on the chandelier of the Disney Wish's Grand Hall. A tiny Jiminy Cricket statue can be found at the end of the bar. Tile mosaics of Pinocchio characters line the hallways around the bar, my personal favorite, that of Figaro and Cleo. The Keg and Compass is themed to an 1800s sailor's map room. The map features many Disney characters near their real-world geographical locations, including Ariel, Skull Rock with Captain Hook's pirate ship, Nemo, Dory, Crush, and Squirt, Moana and Maui not far from Te Kā from Disney's Moana, Carl Fredrickssen's Flying House, Jack Sparrow, Ursula, Monstro, and Aladdin and Jasmine on a Magic Carpet ride. Hidden above the bar is the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea being attacked by a giant squid, along with Ned attempting to free the vessel from the beast. The map also features important Disney and Disney Cruise Line locations, such as cities that call Disney theme parks home, Burbank, Port Canaveral, Celebration, where WDWNT happens to call home, and more. The wooden octopuses around the portholes are holding various objects of note: a Mickey Premium ice cream bar, a Dole Whip, a Mickey pretzel, and one has even gotten a hold of the Disney Wish cruise ship. Mark Davis's art of opera singing Vikings from the Haunted Mansion resides on one wall. A wooden compass displays the geographical location of Happenburg, where the Disney Wish was built, while the second one has the location of Port Canaveral. The names of the two lead Imagineers on the interior spaces of the ship can be found on the faux map drawers and suitcases located under the bar. There's a wooden plaque that reads, "You are not the first to pass this way, nor shall you be the last." This quote is, of course, from the Lift Hill scene of Epcot Center's Maelstrom attraction, which was located in the Norway Pavilion. The bar also serves a Maelstrom Stout. Luna is the theater space and is named after the 2011 Pixar short La Luna, which was shown before Brave in movie theaters. Characters including Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Wall-E, Eve, Jiminy Cricket, and Mufasa are hiding in the constellations in the sky in the ceiling of the venue. We're now moving on to the Oceaneer Club, which is quite large on this ship and in fact holds a number of the best Easter eggs and hidden details on the ship. So we're going to be here for a hot minute. In the halls outside of the Oceaneer Club are murals representing many of the areas inside. In the Marvel section, you'll find a cutesy version of the Avengers campus from Disney California Adventure. The Star Wars section depicts Chewbacca and R2-D2 dealing with a Porg infestation, while C-3PO and BB-8 sit outside cages for all sorts of Star Wars creatures. Down the hall, you'll find Frozen, some of the Mickey and Friends characters with the Disney Cruise Line ship, and of course, a representation of It's a Small World. In the Walt Disney Imagineering Lab, you'll find concept art and such for many items on the ship. One glass case contains concept art and maquettes for the Toy Story Splash Zone water play area, while another has a full model of the Disney Wish. Hard hats represent Imagineers who worked on the ship, even featuring their names. Maquettes and displays from various Disney theme park attractions can be found, including a Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind ride vehicle, Lightning McQueen, the Hollywood Tower Hotel icon, laugh canisters from Monsters Incorporated, Maui from Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, a Dumbo the Flying Elephant ride vehicle, giant gems from the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the dedication plaque from Disneyland, and a microphone meant to represent that used by Walt Disney, a Big Thunder Mountain logo plaque, a Tron Light Cycle Run vehicle, a Remy's Ratatouille Adventure ride vehicle, the disappearing, reappearing butterfly effect from the latest iteration of Journey into Imagination at Epcot, and as well a maquette of the first Figment animatronic from the original Journey into Imagination attraction. Some of the displays simply have merchandise items guests could buy at the various locations worldwide, such as a spider bot from Avengers Campus, the music box from Mystic Manor in Hong Kong Disneyland, and even the recently released 50th anniversary figure of Peg Leg Pete from Pirates of the Caribbean at Walt Disney World. In this case, they simply painted over the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary base. The largest display in the room is that of a 3D printed Cinderella castle in a glass case. In a cage in the next room, guests will find an actual used costume from the former Rivers of Light at Disney's Animal Kingdom, trash can plaques from World Showcase, Tomorrowland 1994, and Main Street USA at the Magic Kingdom, a light-up model of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, cherry blossoms from the Takumi Tay restaurant at Epcot, a headdress from the Festival of the Lion King, a Dapper Dan's hat, a hat belonging to a Country Bear Jamboree audio animatronic, a candle from the queue of Expedition Everest, a vintage 1971 Walt Disney World lunchbox, an alebrije from the Mexico Pavilion, a maquette of Hitchhiking Ghost, a patch from the Tokyo Disneyland version of the Country Bear Jamboree Vacation Hoedown, a Muppet Vision 3D mug, which was sold at last year's Destination D23 event in the Mickey's of Glendale store, the Auf Wiedersehen and Kawali goodbye signs from It's a Small World. There's also stickers on a large toolbox, including some given out by cast members at Hong Kong Disneyland, some from Shanghai, a Skyway poster button, as well as stickers for the Carousel of Progress, Wilderness Lodge, the Cozy Cone Motel, Disneyland, the Disney Cruise Line, and even one reading, One Little Spark. There's also a Circa Zong decal like you would find used at Expedition Everest on the toolbox. On the back wall, you'll find clocks displaying the times in Anaheim, Paris, Orlando, Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai, everywhere that Disney parks are located. In Mickey and Minnie Captain's Deck, a map in the Playroom features the world with all 6 of its Disney castles. There are also 6 Disney cruise ships on the map, which is currently an incorrect number. There will eventually be 6 ships in the fleet, but when the Triton class is complete, there will actually be 7 in total. In the It's a Small World nursery, the art is inspired by the It's a Small World attraction, in this case drawn by Joey Chu. It incorporates Disney characters into each region, as most of the rides around the world have done, except for you, Florida, I'm looking at you. Some of these are actually represented in versions somewhere in the world, like Peter Pan characters in England, or Marie from the Aristocats in France. However, some are major departures, such as characters from Luca in Italy, Remy in France, an entire Wakanda section, Coco in Mexico, Mirabelle and the Encanto in South America, and an America section which features Spider-Man in New York City, Cars characters along Route 66, and characters from The Princess and the Frog. There's even a Raya and the Last Dragon section in Asia. The bathroom, fittingly, is under the sea with characters from The Little Mermaid and Finding Nemo. At Fairy Tale Hall, above the 3 rooms is a ceiling of stars along with lighted constellations that represent the 3 films. A snowflake for Frozen, the sun icon for Tangled, and a rose for Beauty and the Beast. In the Rapunzel room, eagle-eyed guests will spot a Pascal statue. It's one of the very same that hide by the stream in Fantasyland in the Magic Kingdom. Some wooden ducks also reside on a shelf representing the Snuggly Duckling Tavern. Of course, the painting on the walls match many that Rapunzel had painted in the film. The clock in the room is permanently set to 11:10, the release date of Tangled. In the Frozen room, the clock is set to 11:13 for its release date. In Belle's library, some of the art is from the Be Our Guest restaurant at the Magic Kingdom, specifically the Rose Gallery, which was a new room of the castle created just for that venue. At the Star Wars cargo bay, a creature in a case from Oga's Cantina has found its way into the space, as has the Dianoga monster in the water tank that you'll find on Batuu. Here, though, guests can crank a lever and raise the beast from its slumber. The sleepy Loth Cat from Batuu is also here. Unique to this space, however, is an audio animatronic porg in a cage. At the Marvel Superhero Academy on display, you'll find Captain America's suit, Black Widow's suit, Wakandan tech, and even some Pym Labs experiments. In the Pym Labs area, you'll find a post-it note that reads, "Watch out for these." The creature shown is the target that guests have to shoot in Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle at Hong Kong Disneyland. An ex-con security consultant's notepad page has a list of reminders for Scott Lang that are specifically related to the cruise, including shipping the 156 quantum cores and regulator that are in the Worlds of Marvel Quantum Encounter show, a packing list including a formal night suit, maybe he's eating at Palo, I guess, as well as a piratey suit for the famed Disney Cruise Line Pirate Night. Ask Happy if ants are allowed on the ship. A towel folding class is listed, which plays a role in the Quantum Encounter show as well. Scott is also looking forward to some chicken tenders for lunch on Deck 11. A letter from Pepper Potts of Stark Industries is thanking Hope for accepting their invitation to the ship. The letter mentions the AI assistant Friday, who is also the assistant in Avengers Campus at Disneyland Paris. Scott Lang has left his Key to the World card sitting at his desk. Probably not a great idea. He needs that to get into his room. The World's Greatest Grandma Award that Cassie gives to Scott in the MCU is on the desk as well. There are lockers in the room for Shuri, Peter Parker, Scott Lang, Hope Van Dyne, and also Pepper Potts. Entering Worlds of Marvel Quantum Encounter, you'll see reliefs on either side of the entrance that feature several different Avengers. The presentation from Ant-Man and the Wasp is called Miracles from Molecules, which happens to be the name of the theme song from the classic Disneyland attraction, Adventures Through Inner Space, which opened in 1967 in Tomorrowland. Fittingly enough, the ride was about shrinking guests down to visit the inside of a snowflake. Captain Marvel will reference a date with some Kree warheads when she departs from the fight. This references Avengers Assemble Flight Force at Disneyland Paris, which is taking place at the same exact time, according to the Disney Parks Marvel Universe. The Quantum Core souvenir sipper has the number 62 on it, which is a reference to the year Ant-Man first appeared in the Marvel Comics, 1962. The menu features Wakandan versions of recognizable Coca-Cola soft drink logos. You can also bring home an enlarged Coke Zero can as a souvenir cup. In fact, on that giant can are the numbers 71966, which is a reference to when Black Panther debuted in a Fantastic Four comic book in July of 1966. Illuminating wall panels in the space feature an Avengers logo in the center, but icons representing many of the individual heroes or teams of heroes, and they're connected to it in what looks like a circuit board. At Arendelle, a Frozen dining adventure, characters from Frozen 1 and 2 line the hall leading to the main dining room, followed by paintings that appeared in the first film during Anna's singing of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Hang in there, Joan. A replica of the clock where young Anna watches the hours tick by is also in the hallway. The dining room is supposedly inside the castle in the Kingdom of Arendelle. Elsa's Conceal Don't Feel gloves and a toy from her childhood are on a shelf on the right side of the dining room. This is the Elsa section of the room. The Anna section on the opposite side features childhood toys of Anna's. The patterns on the chairs and on the ceiling are taken from clothing, buildings, and more in the film. The back portion of the room represents Kristoff and has all sorts of things related to trekking through the snow. A painting in the back left corner of the restaurant features the Royal Summer House and the Frozen Ever After ride from Epcot. The menu features a group of cocktails called the Maelstrom Trio, a reference to the Epcot attraction that was of course replaced by Frozen Ever After. A fun fact, the party is catered by Oaken's Hearty Party Planning Services. For 1923, obviously, the name is inspired by the year that the Walt Disney Company was founded. The space is meant to evoke Golden Age Hollywood dining, such as Musso and Frank's, or a visit to the Frolic Room. The seating area is split in half between two rooms, the Walt Disney and the Roy Disney. The art, maquettes, and more celebrate the 100-year journey of Walt Disney animation. Featured films include Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Frozen, and Moana. While some quote-unquote props are simply merchandise pieces from the past, there are some custom-made items on display, including a Sami drum from the Northuldra people in Frozen 2 that was handmade by a couple in Finland, as well as a Fijian ship model representing Moana that was made by a Hawaiian artist. The menu features items with nods to many LA area landmarks and locations that are important to Walt and Roy. Alameda Avenue was once home to Walt Disney Studios. Hyperion, of course, was where the Disney brothers moved their studio from the original Kingswell location to 2719 Hyperion in Los Angeles in January 1926 and named it the Walt Disney Studio. As just mentioned, Kingswell is the site of the first Disney studio in Hollywood. Riverside is where the current Disney studio resides along Riverside Drive. Located in Burbank, California, where the Walt Disney Studios are located, is 500 South Buena Vista Street, which is, of course, where Buena Vista comes from. It was from the name of Buena Vista Street that Disney chose the name for its distribution company and also later named Buena Vista Street at California Adventure. In 1932, Walt and Lillian had their Los Feliz home built at 4053 Walking Way, Los Angeles. Ink and paint is important because this is the department in the studio where Lillian worked when she met Walt Disney. Atwater Village is a district of Los Angeles which was frequented by Walt and his animators in the early day of the studio. This hip area is located just across the Glendale Hyperion Bridge from the studio. The Carrollwood Estate, once owned by Walt Disney, was located at Holmby Hills, Los Angeles, in the Hollywood Hills. And of course, Burbank is where Walt Disney used the earnings from the successful release of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to finance the construction of a studio. On the Roy Disney side, there's a picture of Walt working on the Alice comedy series, as well as a poster from the Alice in the Jungle at the cast service area. Meanwhile, on the Walt Disney side, there is a sketch from the Skeleton Dance and a poster for Flowers and Trees. At the AquaMouse, the Swiss Meltdown version of the attraction features Harold from Disneyland's Matterhorn, as well as the mountain itself. Also featured is the Disneyland Skyway, which used to go right through that structure. The Disney Cruise Line Port Adventures logo can be found sitting behind a warning sign at the entrance. The Dispatch podium features several interesting references. A patch for Villain Mountain is referencing a long-rumored, never-built Magic Kingdom e-ticket attraction that was meant to take over the area of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in the late 1990s. An RRR decal can be found, this of course being the logo of the Run-Amok Railroad from Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. To enter the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge, guests go under a metallic gold-lined archway into a dark antechamber. Senior Creative Director Danny Hank described this as a palate cleanser before guests step through the airlock doors into the lounge. A holotube showcases different holographic ship models, including the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. There are 4 main hero props in the lounge, showcased in dome displays. The pieces are a Halleck set, a musical instrument similar to a guitar from Naboo, a small statue of Chagruta, a humanoid species from the planet Chile, Mustafar lava crystals, and a stuffed hawk bat. Guests will recognize different planets from the Star Wars universe, including Coruscant, Mustafar, and Tatooine on the screen. When Batuu appears, it's surrounded by First Order ships, including the one guests get trapped on in Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. The ship of Chef Strono Cookie Tugs of Docking Bay 7 fame can be seen flying by in this scene as well. Also there, you'll spot a Resistant A-Wing fighter, a Coruscant AA-9 passenger liner, a Coruscant transport freighter, a Mining Guild freighter, the Millennium Falcon, a Resistance MC-85 Mon Calamari cruiser, a First Order Star Destroyer, a TIE fighter, traffic ships, the ZH-40 freighter, and Resistance X-Wing fighters. The lounge will jump through hyperspace every 7 to 10 minutes. In order to combat motion sickness, scenes on the screen move in sync with the movement of the ship. The hyperspace jump are also sideways, which is only the second time that has ever been portrayed in media. Near Coruscant, guests will see the Starspeeder 3000 as well as the Halcyon, the ship that is the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. There's also a CR-70 diplomatic cruiser, a Coruscant AA-9 passenger liner, a Coruscant transport freighter, a Corellian CR-90 corvette, an Ibis freighter, a Nukoy freighter, a Marisas freighter, a Naboo N-1 starfighter, and traffic ships. Near Mustafar, you'll encounter a Dornian gunship, Imperial Arrestor cruiser, an Imperial Star Destroyer, a Lambda-class shuttle, a Delta-class shuttle, a TIE Boarder, an Imperial TIE Brute heavy fighter, and Imperial TIE fighters. Tatooine includes Corellian passenger transport, Rogue-class fighters, the Millennium Falcon once again, a New Republic prison ship, the Razor Crest, KGZ-54 Star Crane, the AAC-39 freighter, the G-Troc 820 transport, the Lancet hybrid hauler, the Lancer pursuit craft, and a Victor wing fighter. Last but not least, Endor features a Resistance bunker buster, a Mining Guild freighter, the YT-2400 freighter, the Gozanti cruiser, a Nebulon B frigate, the Tri-Wing S-91X fighter, Resistance cargo frigate, the Resistance MC-85 Mon Calamari cruiser, TIE fighters, Drovan freighters, a Razor assault ship, the Resistance X-Wing fighters, and as well Resistance Y-Wing fighters. Some of the glassware in Hyperspace Lounge will look familiar to some of you. That's because some beverages are served in cups that match those served at the Skyline Bar in Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel at Disneyland Paris. Besides those, the souvenir cups are modified versions of those available in either the Sublight Lounge aboard the Galactic Star Cruiser or at Oga's Cantina in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. At Nightingale's, the signage and logo is inspired by the typeface on the original Cinderella movie poster. The bar represents Cinderella singing of the titular song as she cleans, represented by hand-blown glass bubbles above the space. Wrapping around the bubbles are musical notes, which actually make up the sheet music for "O Sing Sweet Nightingale." The Bayou is inspired by The Princess and the Frog, and the lounge features bronze statues of Tiana and Naveen as frogs. You'll find frog-like lighting fixtures and such throughout the space as well. In fact, the area above the performance space is shaped like a giant lily pad. The bar also features a beautiful etching of Tiana's dream, the Tiana's Place restaurant. Hook's Barbery features Captain Hook's private map of Neverland, hiding a bar that operates from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and also during seminars. There's a statue representing the Tic-Tac Croc inside, as well as a number of pocket watches hidden throughout. There's also a tiny barber chair with a familiar logo on it, which may be where the frog version of Prince Naveen sits when visiting the location. What there is to shave on a frog, I have no idea. At the Untangled Salon, a glass chandelier represents the sundrop flower from the film. As well, the lighting is presented as the famous floating lanterns. At the Toy Story Splash Zone, Woody is represented as a toy bubble blower, an item that appears in Toy Story 2 as part of the Woody's Roundup collection belonging to Al. Slidosaurus Rex is a reference to the Toy Story toon short Partysaurus Rex. A water play area themed to the short was also recently planned for the Toy Story re-theme of Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel before a broader Pixar theme was decided upon. That being said, elements from that water play area may still be built. Areas on the ship are either motif spaces or story spaces. They either take you into a particular story like Worlds of Marvel and Arendelle, or they represent a motif like Nightingales. Cove Cafe has a motif that is reminiscent of Moana, but there are no overt Moana references, nor details that tell you of a particular place and time. Marceline Market is named for Walt Disney's early childhood hometown of Marceline, Missouri. The space is styled as an old industrial loft with proprietors straight out of Disney stories. A map at the entrance serves as a guide to the seating areas, which include a farmer's market featuring Wicked Witch produce, the Hops family farm, and Flowers representing Flower from Bambi. There's also bakery and cooking supplies with Attila the Bun, and toys and inventions created by Geppetto and Maurice, respectively. Remy provides the motto for the market, "I only want to eat the good stuff," captured in a neon sign near the entrance. The Marceline Market Coffee Bar celebrates Alice in Wonderland, with tea set propping and hidden Alice characters in the wallpaper. There's a book in the Attila the Bun section labeled "Anyone Can Bake," while the more famous Anyone Can Cook book by Gusteau resides in the Remy section. The themes are driven home by the propping in each area. The Tangled area features baking weapons, frying pans, and ducks. The Handmade Toys sign features the wishing star from Pinocchio. You'll also find a limited edition Figaro toy and a Pinocchio marionette nearby. Maurice's workshop features plans for some of his inventions, as seen in the Enchanted Tales with Belle attraction at the Magic Kingdom, including the music box he made for Belle and the Beast that resides in Be Our Guest restaurant. The Ratatouille area features Remy's chef hat, his spoon, and a recipe card framed on the wall. The Wicked Witch Orchards features a number of apple-based goods. The Rose features a replica of the Enchanted Rose from Beauty and the Beast at its entry, along with the Enchanted Mirror. Art of the Rose can fittingly be found throughout the Rose, but it's also located throughout Enchante and Palo as well. With Enchante next door, Palo takes the theme of Lumiere's Buddy Cogsworth, displaying gears and such throughout. Meanwhile, a small Lumiere can be found in the entrance hallway of Enchante. The Hideaway Flex Space features nods to the 1977 revival of the Mickey Mouse Club, including a Disco Mickey Mouse album. The staterooms of the ship may include art from Cinderella, Frozen, Sleeping Beauty, The Princess and the Frog, The Little Mermaid, or Moana. The art above the headboard for the Moana rooms was digitally painted by James Finch, who was one of the visual development artists on the actual film. The lampshades feature a hidden Mickey pattern that will show only when illuminated. The suites on the ship all feature a Tangled theme. The 7 forward-facing suites on the ship all feature The Little Mermaid. The 4 royal suites are all themed to Sleeping Beauty, with 2 Princess Aurora Royal Suites and 2 Briar Rose Royal Suites. The Wish Tower Suite, however, features details from Disney's Moana. Seeing as though many woodland creatures have helped Disney princesses with their clothing, the laundry facility, called Fairy Tale Fresh Laundry, is located in the woods section, yet the characters from Bambi can be found inside, including Flower the Skunk as the mascot for the soap center. This is weird because the Bambi characters are never really involved with humans other than, well, you know what happens to Bambi's mom. Inside Out Joyful Sweets reuses statues and posters from the Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind attraction at Disney California Adventure. The Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods is themed entirely to the most recent Mickey Mouse shorts, so many of the service windows look like sets straight out of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. The cover on a napkin holder has what looks like a hole in it where some sort of creatures are peering through it. The Wonderland Cinema entrance flooring reads, "What a peculiar place," straight out of the Alice in Wonderland film. The doorknobs at the entrance are, of course, the talking doorknob. The wall carpet murals in the entrance corridor feature many of the Wonderland residents. There's even more of these inside the theater. The theater itself features several Cheshire Cat sconces, all in different poses. His glowing eyes and teeth act as lights, as do the stripes on his body. The chair backs look like playing cards. The ends of the railings are hearts with crowns on them. And the carpet is reminiscent of the maze found at the Queen's Castle. The Neverland Cinema echoes the Wonderland one, but all themed to Peter Pan. The entrance flooring here reads, "Here we go." The carpet in the entry hallway features Peter and the children flying off to Neverland, while the carpeted walls are clouds. Some clouds can even be found on the ceiling in the theater. Carpet murals of characters reside in the theater as well. Here, each sconce is Tinkerbell with light emanating from her wings. Peter and the children flying can be found on the back of the chairs, while the Lost Boys are located on a short wall between the upper seating area and the main walkway. The ends of the railings in this room are actually the ends of sword handles, while those in the Alice in Wonderland theater are actually shaped like hearts with crowns on them. Whew! That is a lot of Easter eggs and hidden details. Well, if you enjoyed this video and you want us to keep doing more of them, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and you can support this and other great content by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. If you found anything that we missed aboard the Disney Wish, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know more, and I'm sure we missed something because there was a lot going on this whole boat. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for, we're going to give away a copy of the Making a Disney Wish book. It's the making of the ship. This was given away to the first couple of cruisers, and we got a copy to give away here. I know this was advertised on social media, but this may be a pleasant surprise for those of you who just came here and showed up wanting to watch some fun content. But if you want to enter to win this, all you have to do is make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and also make sure to comment below. Let's pick a fun phrase, shall we? Let's pick, how about, I don't know, what's something fun we talked about here? How about Hook's Barbary? Just comment below with Hook's Barbary, and you'll be entered to win. In a couple weeks' time, we'll pick a winner of this great book. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time with more Easter eggs from the Disney parks, resorts, and cruise ships all around the world.